Hello YouTube, welcome to an Arlecchino beginner guide. It is Luna 2 and I am here with this updated guide that's aimed to teach someone who is new to Arlecchino why you might still pull for her in 6.1. Stick around, we're going to have some fun and learn why the father of the House of the Hearth still holds up today. Arlecchino is a pyro damage dealer that fits in many teams. Her primary mechanic revolves around using her Bond of Life to get big damage. She gets Bond of Life by applying her skill to an enemy and then withdrawing it from them using a charge attack. If you are trying to use Arlecchino without letting her Bond of Life mechanic charge up, you will be losing a lot of damage. Apply the X to the enemies using your skill. If you're at Constellation 0, you need to let this cook for about 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, the X will become larger, which is how you know it's ready. Once it is, do a charge attack, and you will notice a Bond of Life has now covered Arlecchino's health. The more of this red bar you have, the more damage you will do. Every time you attack with Arlecchino, this Bond of Life will get reduced and the damage that you do will go down. You won't exhaust all of your Bond of Life, but at a certain stage, you will still have a little bit of Bond of Life, but be doing normal physical only. At this stage, you'll want to try to reapply your skill and switch off to other characters to do a rotation, such as Bennett or Fischl or Chevreuse, and then come back to Arlecchino. The good news is, with this type of rotation, it can give you a chance to let the skill cook for another 5 seconds, so that by the time you're done setting up the other characters, the X is ready in order to pull off the Bond of Life and do damage to enemies again. Let's talk teams. I mentioned earlier that she can be free-to-play friendly, but she scales all the way up to very high-end endgame teams. So let's talk about them. If you're just starting out and Arlecchino is your only character, you will have the chance to get Lynette for free later in the game. You'll also get Barbara for free and Kaya for free. All of these characters are guaranteed for your account. None of them are the most amazing endgame character for Arlecchino, but starting out, they are free and guaranteed, and they will all add value to Arlecchino. Lynette has access to the Viridescent Venerer set, which reduces enemy pyro resistance, and she provides an attack buff. Kaya will provide consistent cryo application off field. This will allow you to get some melts with Arlecchino, which can hit for big damage. Barbara would allow you to do some vaporize with some off-field hydro, but because Arlecchino can't be healed, she is very, very low value. You would look to replace her with someone like Xingqiu as fast as you can. Electro and Pyro together makes Overload. And if you get Chevreuse, I highly recommend this is the team that you build, as it is the simplest to build with great results. Chevreuse, even at Constellation 0, provides an amazing benefit to her team. She reduces the enemy resistance by 40%. She can heal your team, but remember, not Arlecchino. And she provides an attack buff based on her max HP. So get her to 40,000 HP if you can. Characters like Fischl apply a lot of damage and Electro to keep that going. But if you don't have Fischl, then you can look to get someone like Beta or Kuki or just someone to put some Electro on. Some folks later in the game may also use Raiden to do this as well. Later in the game, again, beyond the scope of this video, you may choose to use 5 stars like Sitlali or Yelan for the reaction-based teams. Shallonen works very well. Kazuha works very well. You need not worry. It's important to note as well, you don't need to use reaction teams. You can use what's known as mono pyro, which is only having pyro with an animo user to reduce resistances. So someone like Lynette, with Bennett and Xiangling, with Arlecchino, can make a very strong team as well. This next part is specific to Luna 2, otherwise known as 6.1. Please be aware that the weapon banner is running right now with Zhongli's weapon. While Arlecchino's weapon does have a special look, it looks like an amazing scythe, you need to be aware that if you're wishing for Arlecchino, I strongly advise you against wishing on this particular weapon banner. If you want her weapon, it may be worthwhile to wait for her to come back. Zhongli's weapon, the Vortex Vanquisher, is so bad, I am warning against wishing for Arlecchino's weapon. There are free-to-play weapons like the White Tassel, or other weapons for the Battle Pass that are quite good, such as Ballad of the Fjords, or even Deathmatch. And on the standard banner, or losing to a 50-50 on the weapon banner later, there's the Primordial Jadewing Spear, which is a great high base attack weapon. I mentioned don't get this weapon banner. So what can you do if you want to make your Arlecchino stronger? Well, good news. Constellation 1 is very nice because it provides interruption resistance, which makes it a bit easier to play Arlecchino. Also, Constellation 2 allows you to immediately pull the Bond of Life mechanic away from the enemies, so you can Unga Bunga your way to victory. No more do you have to hit your skill, swap off, and wait 5 seconds to set up your rotation. If you've messed it up and you just want to get going straight away, or you just need to finish someone off, just apply your skill, pull it off, and you can keep going for big numbers. Arlecchino cannot be healed by other characters. In order to heal Arlecchino, you must use her burst. So let's talk about her talents. Arlecchino's primary damage comes from normal attacks, so you'll want to level that up first. Level her normal attack up as high as you can. I recommend level 9 if possible, or level 10. She's worth it. This is a lot of resin, a lot of investment, but she still puts out big damage numbers even today. Arlecchino's skill, while technically adding a bit of damage, doesn't do a whole lot. So you can leave this a little bit lower if you're low on resources. So maybe level 6, level 8 if you really like her. For artifacts, you want the Fragment of Harmonic Whimsy. This set is available in the Strongbox, so you no longer need to go to her domain to farm it. I do recommend the Whimsy for everyone because you can Strongbox it. If you are farming artifacts, you can go farm a very high value domain like Marechaussee Hunter and Golden Troop, Deepwood and Gilded, or the new Nodcry artifacts. Any extra unused artifacts put into the Strongbox. For Arlecchino's build, for her Sands, you'll want attack with crit rate and crit damage. For her Goblet, you'll want Pyro with crit rate, crit damage, and preferably attack. And for her hat, you'll want crit rate and crit damage, or crit damage and crit rate, depending on your weapon. Name of the game is as much attack, crit rate, and crit damage as possible, preferring crit rate and crit damage. Ideally, you're going to aim for somewhere around 75 to 85 crit rate to about 200 or so crit damage on the very, very high end. Before you start investing into artifacts, make sure you get your talents up, however. Also, if you have a set of gladiators that has these stats and you are just starting out on Fragment of Harmonic Whimsy, you can use Gladiator's Finale 4-piece in the meantime. It's not really worth leveling up. Gladiators unless you have great pieces over the Harmonic Whimsy. If you're new to Arlecchino, you might have some trouble in the Overworld. She is a little bit annoying in the Overworld because she cannot be healed by others. And if you are out clearing enemies, you might notice you've lit the grass on fire and you're burning to death. This is more noticeable as you get to later regions like Fontaine and even Nodcry, where the grass is actually a higher level and it does more damage. This means it's very easy to burn yourself to death with Arlecchino. So remember, use that burst to heal up. Well, that wraps it up for a beginner's guide to Arlecchino. I hope this has been helpful. Are you pulling for Arlecchino, or are you going to disregard my advice and go for the weapon banner, despite the Vortex Vanquisher staring you in the face? Let me know in the comments your plans, and if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.